What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's get this intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on also. That way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So welcome back to another episode of Super Gunner, where I tell my life's tales and stories with a twist. You guys already know how I get it in, man. So I wanted to tell you one about how the Paisas definitely saved me. It was that close, I said. It was actually that close, right? They had me, man. I went from tough guy to almost as getting rough guy, right? I had to watch out. Let me explain to you what led up to the situation, how the Paisitas, man, that's why I always have gratitude for them. Okay. That's why I always show support. Nah, even more so than that, man. That's my bloodline. But I give them a lot of respect because in prison, people think, hey, the Paisas don't pose a threat. They're nada, man. They ain't no one tripping shit, homie. Them Paisitas will get off where they're mad at. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do not touch the taco because it's going down. I'm going to tell you guys right now. So this particular day, I was in a bad mood. I was kind of upset. You know when you just wake up in bad moods, it just is what it is. You don't know why you're mad, but you're fucking mad, and you're willing to take it out on everybody and anybody. Like someone's getting it took out on them. Well, there was a tweaker that got it took out on him. So this day, I woke up in a bad mood, and kind of throughout the day, the situation just got worse. Everything was antagonizing me. Everything was getting me upset. That's like having a bad celly. Once you get to that point of you realize he's a bad celly, you just can't fucking stand him anymore. Everything he does, he farts. It's like, fuck, bro, I hate you. I want to kill you, right? It's one of those situations. He's like, hey, my old lady, fuck your old lady, right? You feel just everything. That's the mood I was in. Now, my daughter had come to me, and she was like, Dad, I'm something's going on with me. I'm not feeling good, right? And so I was like, just relax, rest. I try to, do all the fatherly things, the parental things, and like, you need aspirin, Tylenol, hot wash, right? Like, what do you need? You're not feeling good. No, and she just kept on. And now I'm not in a bad mood, but I can't take it out on my child, right? So I'm just kind of frustrated, like, fuck, what do I do? So, hey, I do what every other parent does, just go to the ER, to the emergency room, right? Let the doctors figure it out because I don't fucking know what the hell's going on, right? But my kid is not feeling good, so that's where we're headed. So at that particular time, man, I picked up my brother-in-law and my sister, right? And I was like, hey, my daughter was having some issues. And at that time, I was like, I told my sister, hey, you guys want to rock with me, man? Go with me to the ER. She needs to go to the ER. Maybe you can go in with her. I don't know, what exactly to tell the doctor. She won't tell me exactly what her issues are, but maybe they're more along the lines of a woman could help her, right? So I says, yeah, that's fine. So they come, bam. We jump in my whip. We go to the ER. Now, my sister's like, I'm going to go in and get her registered. I'm going to do my thing in there, right? So she goes in. Boom. They go in. And me and my brother-in-law, we're outside of the hospital. We're kicking back. We're smoking a frau. This is back when I smoked cigarettes, right? And I'd rather stay out of hospital. I don't really particularly like hospitals unless I get put in them, right? I'm not trying to go to the hospital. Nowadays, I have appointments and I have to do things because of my diabetes. But back then, like, I try to stay away from hospitals. Hospitals is death, man. Motherfuckers is not in there because they're feeling well, right? So, and you don't want to catch diseases and there's shit going around. So I'm just like, I don't really care for ERs. Yeah, and plus you have to sit there for hours and hours and hours looking at a bunch of weird people coming in and out. I'm not trying to do all that. So I figured we hang out outside. Now, we're probably outside like maybe 15 minutes. My sister comes out. She's like, okay, we're just waiting now. She smokes her little frau and then they go back in. My daughter's sitting right there. They go back in, whatever. And me and my brother-in-law are smoking like trains, cigarette after cigarette. We're chopping it up, doing our thing. And I'm still in this bad mood, but I'm more in a concerned mood, trying to figure out what's going on with my kid, right? So trip out. There's tweakers everywhere in this particular hospital. You can see them in and out, and they're starting to get on my last nerves as I see them walking. All they're doing is walking. They're not bothering me. They're not saying shit to me, but they're fucking all tweaked out. Brother, right? And I see him walking around all roached out, and I'm like, fuck, bro. Starts giving me flashbacks as to Roach when he was all tweaked out, and I'm just like, man, fuck these people, right? I'm feeling some type of way. It's because more not of what they were doing, because that's their business. They want to fucking get high and die, that's on them. But it's because of my issues, my bad mood, right? So my brother-in-law could see I'm kind of like not in the correct mood. So he knows to just stay away, right? So he's just kicking it. And all of a sudden I see all the people in the emergency room start coming out like fast, like almost running. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? My kid's in there, right? So I walk up and my sister and my kid are outside. I'm like, what happened? She said, there's some guy in there going crazy. He's threatening doctors and everything's all tweaked out the game, right? He's in a wheelchair with some chick. So I kind of look, man, and security's kind of backing everyone up. They're like, hey, we're taking care of it. Everything's good, right? And so I look, and this dude's getting escorted out by security, and he's fucking screaming and yelling and cussing and fuck you doctors and fuck all everyone in here. And I want to be seen first and just disrespecting. Now he's doing this in front of my child and other children that are there, right? And now I found a reason. I was just looking for a reason. So I said, okay. So the security tells everyone you can go back in. So my sister's like, we're going to go in, whatever, right? I'm like, hey, I'll be in there in a minute, so I can go in with you guys. I got to hold it down, right? So let me smoke this last frau out of the 20 I done already smoked, right? So me and my brother-in-law outside, and I see this dude, and the security take him like as far as the parking line. He has to go up this hill, and then he can catch his little bus or whatever to wherever the fuck he's got to go, right? And I'm just staring at him. And I see the security walking, kind of, they stop. They're having them a little cigarette in the parking lot, and they're like walking towards us. I tell my brother-in-law, you want to take a little walk? And he just looks at me and shakes his head. He already knows, like, fuck, man. I said, just take a little walk, fool. And he's like, all right. Now, I wasn't thinking in this situation. I wasn't thinking about my child who's right there in the hospital, and here I am taking a penitentiary chance. Wasn't thinking about nothing but my own anger issues, right? So he's like, all right. You know what I mean? Hey, reluctant like a motherfucker. We're walking. And he's like, bro, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. He said, we could smoke a cigarette over there. I said, yeah, but I don't want to smoke one over there. I want to smoke one up there where that guy's at. He's like, damn, right? So the reason I was feeling the way I was feeling, I was picking and choosing my victims. And I know people are going to say, oh, he beat up someone in a wheelchair. He wasn't really in the wheelchair. He was in the wheelchair for fucking content purposes. That motherfucker got up out the wheelchair and then got knocked back into it. But let me explain to you what happened. He was all spun out and just thought he was bad, right? He was like a cholo dude and fucking just no teeth. And so as we walk up this hill, man, there's a bus stop right there. It's like a concrete bench for them to sit on. This fucking chick is smoked out the game. She's holding on to the wheelchair, doing the time won't give me time. She's doing the Boy George. Bitch look like Boy George, right? She's all fucked up. And he's sitting there and he's arguing with her and he starts yelling with her. I don't even want you to get on the bus with me, bitch. Whoa, fuck these doctors. We're going to come back, blow this place up. And I'm waiting, right? And he kind of looks my way. I said, what are you looking at? He didn't even look at me. He just looked my way. I said, what are you looking at? He said, huh? So what the fuck you looking at, man? He said, I ain't looking at you. I said, hey, you think it's cool to fucking act stupid in front of kids? Well, fuck that. The doctors, you don't understand, bro. They're doing me dirty. I said, man, I don't give a fuck about that. And my tone of voice, I was trying to antagonize it. Stupid, right? Very stupid. But I was, because I was in a bad mood. And he was like, he kind of stopped thinking like, am I getting punked or is this dude trying to pump me? What's this dude trying to do? And then he was like, no, bro, you don't understand. I ain't your fucking bro. I hit him with the bro, right? And he was like, bro, you want issues? I said, man, fuck you, fool. You want issues? He's like, man, he got up, man. I cracked him. Bing, 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 bing. I hit him, and I remember I swung so hard I'd have missed one of the punches because he fell in the wheelchair. Help, right? And I done scraped my whole arm on the concrete thing, man. So I'm leaking right there, right? I'm just get back on him. Boom, boom, boom. The chick's like, leave my old man alone. My brother-in-law looks at her all crazy, right? And she starts walking down the hill, and she goes to tell the security guys that are right down there in the parking lot. Next thing you know, I come to, and I'm thinking, right, in my mind, oh, shit, popos, right? So we just light a cigarette and take off walking. My brother-in-law was like, hey, your elbow's bleeding right there. I said, I know I hit it on that concrete thing. He said, fool, you're a nut. You just fucking took off. I said, man, fuck that dude, right? So as we're walking, the security's walking up, and I tell the security, hey, I think that dude fell out of his wheelchair. I don't know what happened, man. And they're just laughing. They already know. They're like, all right. It was a black dude and some white dude, right? They're like, all right. So bam, I walk down. We go back. My daughter comes out. We wait. No cops, nothing, right? Bam. Dude gets on the bus. He leaves. I'm thinking it's cool. As we're waiting, right? My daughter comes out. My sister there tells us, ain't nothing really, no big issue, right? And popos pull up, right? And I'm like, oh, man. They're like, hey, there was an incident right here. It's on camera. I didn't know they had cameras right there. And they're asking us about the incident. I'm like, nah, I didn't see nothing. I don't know. But this guy's saying he was assaulted. He went to the police department. He actually went in, right? I said, I don't know. You got security. I don't know. I mean, I was in the vicinity, but I didn't see nothing, right? Of course, I didn't see shit. I ain't saying shit and I didn't see shit. I already said too much by saying I didn't see shit. You're not supposed to say nothing, right? But that was that. We go home. 2 days later, there's a knock at my door. It's a police with the handcuffs. Come on, we're booking you in, Daniel, right now. This is the second time this done happened to me. Anger issues, right? The first time I took flight, or this was prior to my YouTube. So this was the first time before when I took flight on old boy, right after I did the Cholo Trucker fight, right? We all know about that. I sat him down. Big bang, hit him with the 4-piece extra crispy with a side order of ranch, right? Ding, 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 ding. Blackened ranch from Popeyes because it's better. Anyways, they done snatched me up. I'm on camera fighting with this dude, right? I'm like, damn, bro, right? So they take me to the county jail. Now, you got to understand, at this time, I wasn't no YouTuber. I wasn't a content creator. Like, nobody knows who the fuck I am besides who I tell people who the fuck I am, right? So they put me in this holding tank, and there's a Southsider in there. You know what I'm saying? How do I know? Because he had Sword Gang right there on his head, and he's just all tatted down. And, of course, because I'm Chicano, he's Chicano, we start chopping it up. Now, he never asked me where I'm from. He never does any of that. Now, at this time, I'm not active. I'm not a gang member. I'm not into that, bro, but I'm still a little aggressive in my thinking, right? But as we're chopping it up, we're bullshitting, whatever. He tells me he's in on a dope charge, and I tell him I smashed some fucking tweaker, and we're laughing, right? And he's like, damn, bro, you got a record? I'm like, yeah, I've been in prison here, there, everywhere, right? And he doesn't even, and I'm waiting. I got my fist clenched. I'm waiting for him to be disrespectful or to hit me up. Hey, where you from, eh? Because I'm going to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm a non-active Norteño. I used to be a Norteño, but I ain't none of that no more, right? But I do fight. You know what I mean? If I have to. But he never does. So whatever. Well, they end up separating him, putting him in a pod right there with the gang of other Southsiders. I could see him. And they separate me and they put me with a whole bunch of Paisas. Now, we're in there kicking it. The whole thing is they separated him because he asked. He was like, hey, I got homies over there. Ooh, I'm a Southside, whatever. He done told them what he was, right? Which I grew up not saying nothing. Like, let them put you where they're fucking going to put you. I'm surprised. Thank God they didn't put me in there with them, right? But I'm just being quiet, just minding my own. And my sister and them were working on bail, so I'm not going to be here too long. Like, I ain't even going to get upstairs, bro. I'm going to be out of this motherfucker ASAP, right? So as I'm kicking back, waiting, this fool goes in with his homies. And I walked past with the Paisas to go to with a couple Paisas to go to the Paisa section, right? That's just where they're gonna put me. And I didn't ask for it. It's whatever. I'd rather be in there with the Paisas than a gang of Southerners that are gonna get on me, right? Even because they're gonna trip, even if I was a Norteño or not, because I was one, right? And I'm right there, and fucking what do you call it? As I'm walking by, one of those dudes hits me up. He's like, "Hey, are you active, ese?" I said, I actively got an assault case, but nah, I'm not a gang member. He's like, that's what's up, right? So I thought that was cool. I said, I'm not a gang member. That's what's up. So anyways, I go in there with the Paisas. They hit me up immediately. You know what I mean? And I tell them the whole get down. Nah, I'm this, I'm that. They're not tripping. Okay. They said, hey, there's a lot of Sureños here, a lot of Southsiders. Like, that's cool. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to be here too long, bro. I'm probably not even going to make it up out this cell. I thought, right? Well, let me tell you something. They bring us our box lunch. Well, they bring us our bag lunches, right? And they give all of us double ups. Boom, 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 boom. And I remember I'm in there like, damn, this county jail smooth. They give double bag lunches, right? So I'm in there eating my apple and shit, eating my motherfucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They give us the packets. And I'm getting right back to the program. I'm no longer in a bad mood for some reason. I'm in a highly agitated, upset mood because I'm locked up, but I ain't in the bad mood, right? So I'm eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And this one paisa, he's from Monterrey. He was cool, right? Me and him start chopping it up. He spoke English good, right? And he's like, hey, man, they're going to trip on you when the Southsiders figure out or the Norteños figure out that you're not active. I said, what am I supposed to do, bro? I'm right here. I'm cool, man. My people's already working. I didn't call my sister already. Like, they're already working on my bail. I'm going to be about this motherfucker, or my bail issues. I'm going to be about this motherfucker, right? I ain't tripping. I'm going to fight this motherfucker from distance, right? Believe that. Well, guess what? The bail bondsman that I usually went to was no longer in service, right? So my sister was having issues with finding, and I got another phone call because they had a phone right there in that pod, and I'm like, hey, what happened? Why am I still here? Southsiders starting to look agitated over there. You need to get me the fuck up out of here, right? And she was like, hey, fool, the only people I called, they're not going to be able to do it till the morning. So you're going to be there. So I'm thinking, they're probably not going to move us to a section. Well, whoop-de fucking do, right? Guess what? Yep. Mm-hmm. Everybody line up. Time for movement. You're going here. You're going there. They take me, the guy from Monterrey, and a couple other paisas to a section, right? And I see the Southsiders are doing the same thing to them. They're actually got the doors open. They're in front of their pod telling them what to do and telling us what to do. And there's some woods and some whites, and they're all in a different section. They kept it's crazy. They kept the whites and the blacks and like the tweakers all in one section. And then they got the Southsiders and whoever else, some Asians and shit were in there with them. Then it was just me and a couple paisas, a few paisas, right? So as they're separating everyone to take them to different places upstairs in this county jail, I already know that fucking Southsider, the one that hit me up and said, hey, are you active? Comes with me. So I'm like, shit. The one that I was chopping it up with, he goes to a different spot. So he sees me. He's like, all right, hey. I'm like, okay, I see. Right? Like, hey, fuck, you didn't know. Now you know. As we get to this fucking pod, I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to be in lockdown in the cell. It's all go. It's not. It's a dorm setting. Right? Man, we walked in that motherfucker. Let me tell you, it was like the movie Shot Call. I walked in that motherfucker. Everyone turned. And I seen a gang of bald heads with tattoos. And I said, oh, no. Oh, spaghetti-o. Right? It's about to be bad. So as I walk in there, right? And I know this, the thumbnail said state prison, but it wasn't the California prison. It was actually county jail, right? But, you know what I'm saying? I did that for content purpose. So as I walk in to this fucking pod, I already know they're on me because I'm Mexican and I'm Chicano, and it's just different. It's a different vibe. They see the paisas, they're like, you know what I mean? The paisas are cool. And the paisa from Monterrey, we got real cool just in the little time we were in that cell. And he tells me, are you okay? He could tell by the look. And I said, might go down, bro. He said, we got your back. And I said, bro, fucking, you speak for all the paisas? Now, the paisas were the majority in there for some reason. There was like 10, 15 of them. There's probably about 7 or 8 Southsiders, whites, blacks, a little bit of everything, right? So I'm thinking, sure enough, man, I'm making my little bed thing. Put my little sheet on. A couple Southsiders come walking up on me. They're like, hey, so where you from? I said, I'm from California, homie. They're like, oh, is that right from Los or what? I said, nah, I'm from Merced. Where the fuck's that at? I said, I'm from Northern California. A fool was like, hey, you Norteño? He jumped back, you Norteño? I said, well, hell no. All right, but I once was. So I start trying to explain myself about this, like, hey, fuck that, eh? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you guys are not allowed to walk into this. You guys are not allowed to be right here in this section. You guys have your own section. I said, who's you guys? Because I ain't one of them guys. Like, I'm just a guy, right, that beat up another guy, but that's not the guy I am. They're my other guys, right? But I'm starting to get a little bit back in my bad mood, agitated, because I feel like they're punking me. Like they're trying to punk me because I'm from Northern California. I ain't going out like that. Don't matter how deep motherfuckers are. I'm going to take the ass whooping, right? I've always been taught, take the ass whooping. That's it. So I'm just kind of looking like, you got me fucked up, right? And one dude comes up. He's a little bit heavier set. Kind of not big, heavier set. Target. More target for me, right? And I ain't the baddest motherfucker. I can't fight the best in the world, but I'm going to do what I have to do. And I got that mentality, right? And so now I'm like, fuck it. I'm active again then. I'm going to get activated on these motherfuckers. Even though I really don't want to be, and I'm not, I'm going to for a split second. And he's like, hey, yes, you active Norteño? I said, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? He said, you drop out? I said, nah, I ain't none of that, bro. I'm a non-active Norteño. I'm someone who just doesn't gangbang no more. But what's happening, bro? And he's like, hey, you got to ask the cops. You got to roll it up out of here. You got to ask the cops. I said, I ain't going nowhere, bro. And let me tell you something. He's like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. Well, chow time came. They brought us fucking trays. They were actually metal trays. And I'm thinking, oh, they done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? Tell the CO. You know you done fucked up. And I'm eating slowly. And I remember it was goulash or some bullshit like that. And I'm eating. The paisas right there next to me. And he's like, hey, they might get off right now. They got the metal trays. I said, I got a metal tray too. He said, don't worry. And I'm not going to lie. I'm eating and I feel wind. Like a gust of wind. I'm thinking someone's trying to blow my face. It's not that hot. Don't blow on it, right? I think there was a white dude all tweaked out. Hey, you're going to eat your salad? You're going to eat your salad, right? And I'm eating and I look, and the bigger Southsider dude, he swung the tray at my head, but missed me by about that far. Like he was just went over, like his homeboy said, go get off. And he fucking swung, but he didn't really try to hit me. And I was like, and I jumped up, dink, right? Hit him on top of the head, bro. And a riot erupted. And I'm thinking, oh, I feel all these dudes rushing me, and I'm looking at the paisas, man, and these paisas were getting with the fucking program. I said, bing, 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 bing. There was Mexican fighting. The white dude was like, I guess they're not going to eat their salad. My brothers was in there like, damn, blood. Damn, cuz. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, these motherfuckers was on me, but I was doing what I had to do. I was doing the offense deal, doing better than Adam, right? And these Paisas, I'm watching just fucking cracking. There was a big Paisa, these cracking fools. Bing, 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 bing. We got off. Anyways, the cops came. They saved me because the cops came, right? Snatched everyone up. They got us all. They put us in these separate cells up in the front of the county, right? Took us back downstairs, put us in all separation cells. And let me tell you, when I looked up, when I looked at that ground, there was a couple of dudes leaking and everything. I had like scuff marks on my head from getting kicked. Man, there was like 2 fierros right there, 2 big ass shanks. Them fools was going to whack the fuck out of me. They were going to give me the Paisa to save my life, man. True stories. Hey, I learned my lesson. I ended up getting bailed out right from that section in the morning, right? Cops were like, get this fucker the fuck out of here, right? And I ended up getting out, and I ended up getting some probation and some bullshit. Man, oh boy, they want to press charges. The hospital wasn't tripping because I did it off hospital grounds because we went up, and that was like more city shit. I ended up getting lucky on that case, right? But that goes to show you how your fucking aggressive and stupid attitude, anger management problems can get you caught up. That's true stories and facts, right? The Paisa saved me. If the Paisas weren't there and I wasn't cool with that one particular Paisa who had weight right there, them Southsiders would have smacked me, right? And my thing was, why are you tripping on me, bro? I'm not ex-Reno or something, but motherfuckers be tripping. That's why you think it's all good? Shit. What a difference it makes. I went being all aggressive and trying to beat up a fucking tweaker to get my head stomped in. Gracias para los Paisas. For reals. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Thank you, guys. Hey, look. This is another super gunner. If you like it, hit a 1. If you don't, hit a 1. Either way, I'm still going to do them. Bang, bang.